Hello guys, so I'm just doing something that's hopefully going to be a quick tell me anything reading. I just had a really unsettled feeling this morning when I got up. It was like a bit anxious, a bit irritable, like something wanted to come through. So the song I played, it would turn off, wouldn't it? There we go. So Enrique Iglesias' Escape is the song that's clarified this just now as I've got ready to turn the camera on. So what's going on then? What is going on? Um, the first three cards to come out were the Ace of Pentacles, Justice, and the Nine of Voices. Now, this specific Ace of Pentacles card, I got this from Santaro, but she once pointed out it looks like a location marker, and ever since that's all I see when I see this specific image. So it could be that somebody's has some sort of opportunity, because the Ace of Pentacles is an opportunity or an offer. It's something tangible to do with like your 3D reality, right? It's something that's real, practical. It would be the Ace of Pentacles in the usual tarot, and with it being the location marker, it's almost like somebody has an opportunity to move, to travel. So it's interesting because that escape song, right? An escape. You know, you can run, you can hide. What does he say? If you feel like leaving, I'm not going to make you stay. So it could be something to do with somebody moving. Now this is here with bad health. So bad health and a closer look. The magnifying glass, something that's magnified. It could be. I'm kind of getting different scenarios through this, so just kind of see what works for you. But it could be that somebody needs to move because the situation that they're currently in is not a healthy situation. There could be something with Escape and Enrique. It's like the place where they're in is not a healthy situation. They want to escape. They want to go to like the window's open, so I'm getting this thing about like fresh air. And you know, like sometimes people say go to the seaside for your health. You know, that used to be a thing. You know, people who were a bit ill would go to the seaside, and that bracing seaside air would be really good for them, because there's actually like little like shells and rocks around the edge of this kind of location marker. So that sort of says to me, like, you know, when children collect rocks, so like pebbles on the beach. So it could be that somebody wants to it could be a vacation, right? A holiday, to go somewhere where the air's fresher, you know, maybe getting out of the city if you live in the city. And this thing about kind of like, you know, a more healthy natural environment, you know, bracing sea breezes, being out among trees and things like this. It could be somebody could literally be unwell, you know, physically unwell or mentally unwell. And with the magnifying glass, it's almost saying to me like perhaps you need to travel for treatment or travel to inspect. It's almost like the magnifying, you know, like if you get a splinter, you use the magnifying glass sometimes to kind of like get a really good view of it. So it's like maybe having a close look at some health issue. You may need to move location to do that. You know, maybe you need to go to a clinic or something like this. There's a lot of fours here though. 4, 4, 3 and 1 make 4. So fours are all about, tend to be about your foundations, your stability, your home, your the roots that you put down, which is interesting because we have this tree here as well. So I'll come back to that in a minute. So it could be that somebody's going back to their roots, possibly going back to their ancestral home or town, a place connected to the childhood perhaps. I'm sorry if you hear my tummy rumbling. I'm not going to go into it. I drank milk and I shouldn't have drank milk, and it's made my tummy a bit angry. So yeah, it could be some health issue that perhaps somebody, you know, it's funny that I'm talking about my tummy being a bit angry. It could be some kind of health issue or something causing some health issue, but you need a closer look at it. Okay, I'm going to tell you, I've stopped drinking alcohol. I'm actually 4 weeks today, so well done me. It's not that I'm never ever going to drink it again, but I'm trying to restrict it to like special occasions rather than just because I want to. Again, it's like making healthy choices, making some kind of practical, it could be coming up with some kind of practical plan involving health choices. You know, perhaps if you have got some sort of addiction, you may need to go to a clinic to to deal with that. But it's like putting it under the microscope, shining a light on it, looking at it in the clear light of day, whatever those problems are. You could be traveling to meet to a sick relative, perhaps. I want to travel, but COVID's a thing. There was an advert actually on Spotify that said, we can go out and see our friends again, but we can't hug them. So it could be something to do with like wanting to get closer to somebody, but not being able to like physically because of travel restrictions there. So there's quite a few things that are coming through with that already. That it could be. It's interesting as well. We've got this imprisoned card. We've got the lovers, imprisoned, and the mask. Again, another number 4 there with the mask. So the lovers card can talk about making a choice and putting the heart at the center of that choice, choosing love, if you will. Sometimes it can be a choice of partnership, but more it's to do with divinely guided love. Are you going to choose? Are you going to prioritize love? Are you going to choose love? That's kind of what it says to me. But with imprisoned, it's almost as though somebody can't move. Again, this thing about travel restrictions, you're maybe somebody stuck in an unhealthy relationship. They want to move, they want to get out of that relationship, but they feel trapped. Move to a healthier love option, something like this. So somebody could be wearing masks in a situation to kind of to hide the true feelings, or to pretend they're happy when they're really not, when actually the situation is not healthy. Interestingly enough as well, we have, where is it? Yes, it is on the Justice card. So this is a nice little segue into the second section. So on the Mask card, if I just bring that closer, it's actually a gateway card. You can see all the arches. There's gateway in the mouth, arches behind them. So this actually, although it's a mask, it talks to me about the god Janus, who was the god of pathways, the past, the present, the future, and choices and changes of direction. So he was the god of travelers, for example. Interesting, again, we've got travel again coming up. The god of travel, the god of choices, the god of ancestry and things like this, because it's like past, present, future. So yeah, I'm seeing like the gates of Janus. I don't think I need to go into that any more deeply. I like to waffle on about my classical education there, but we'll leave that there. So a choice, you can see there's 2 lights as well, 2 lights shining down here through the top of the head. So somebody could have a choice to make. This has actually come out for me 3 times in this set of star sign readings. It came out first for Cancer, then I think it came out for Scorpio, and then it came out for another sign. I can't remember. It was one of the 3 tail end signs, I think. I mean, I'm not sure. It came out at least 3 times. It could have been more than that. But there's this card that's been coming out with a gold door and a purple door. And we've got it again here. Look. Like this kind of purpley intuitive coloured door. And then this goldy coloured door, which is almost like wealth or truth. It could be a number of different things. It could be, the moon and the sun, if you want to associate it with tarot cards. So things that are hidden, things that are revealed, right? It's like, which path are you going to choose? Which door are you going to choose? The interesting thing is, though, on this card, they do actually come together. This card also talks about 2 people coming together. Oh, the sun card's underneath there. Well, there you go then. Is that choice made? So you can see 2 people coming together. So it could be like 2 people choosing 2 different doors, but it leads them together. And so that's giving me Kate Bush running up the hill. Yeah, and then the sun card there underneath that. So underneath that is the Page of Emotions as well. That's like an apology or a love offer, moving on. And again, there's this gateway. So, right, okay, that was getting a bit chatty there, wasn't it? So let's put those down. So anyway, pathway, a choice of pathway. It could be that it doesn't matter which you choose. The universe has got maybe some kind of choice point that is fixed, that you can't avoid. So no matter what you do, they're going to, all paths lead to Rome, if you like. It could be something like that. But yeah, pathway here. So choosing a journey, choosing a pathway. The Justice card can talk about contracts or the legal system. So now, for some of you, I don't kind of want to freak anybody out, but if you are dealing with a bad health situation, perhaps an elderly relative, we do have the coffin card here. So there is concerns possibly about funeral arrangements or something like this. It has been coming through quite often in my readings. I don't like to talk about that too much because I don't want to kind of freak anyone out, but if that's your situation, you know it's your situation, right? So it could be, are you going to travel home for somebody's funeral? Or how are you going to travel home for somebody's funeral? Making travel arrangements, dealing with a will. Because this card also talks about ancestry, about roots. But this actually always talks to me about healing ancestral wounds. So it could be that it's not, it could be literally health, or it could be closing the coffin, closing the lid on some kind of inherited ancestral behavior. So for me, again, a lot of my family have always drank, and a lot of my family have always smoked. I feel like my dad closed the lid on the smoking generationally for me, because he stopped smoking, and I have never took to smoking. I wouldn't say I'd never tried it. I tried maybe 4, but like I didn't smoke. I respected my dad a lot, that I didn't adopt that unhealthy behavior. And I have stopped, again, like my habit of drinking. I wouldn't say it was like alcoholic, but it was definitely an unhealthy habit that I felt like I was doing too much of. So over a couple of years, I've gradually reduced that, and now stopped for 4 weeks. So healing ancestral behavioural patterns. I am drawn to the robins in this card. There's 3 robins in that card. That name comes up quite often for me. Mushrooms there, so it could be drug use. There's a change. The butterflies on this pathway signify a change of path, a change of direction. So it could be that somebody has been mimicking ancestral behaviours, inherited behaviour patterns, and there's been a new light shed on this, re-looking at this, the cause, why am I acting like this? Should I be doing this? I am aware that this is bad for my health, so I'm going to change my behavior pattern. And that could be anything, right? It could be a number of different things. It could just be unhealthy behaviors in terms of working too much, or unhealthy behaviors in terms of how you approach relationships. So fixing, somebody's choosing a different path, they are healing ancestral wounds, is how this is coming through. Because the Justice card can also be about karma, about karmic contracts, and again about kind of karmic choice points or karmic milestones where somebody chooses a different path. So just to kind of show you again, we've got the purple and the gold light, and on these cards, if I flip them around, we've got this kind of purpley colour on this card, and the kind of golden light of this card. You can look at it like that. That one's more purpley, that one's more golden. So it's almost like, and you can see this person's going through the golden path. They've chose the golden path. So it's like recognizing that there's some kind of healthy behavior pattern or addiction, recognizing that that's going to cut years off your life. So you're choosing a healthier, you're making a change with the butterflies and choosing a healthier path that's leading you towards a brighter future, and therefore healing the ancestral wounds. The rainbow is a sign of healing, among other things. So like brilliant, right? So why the Nine of Voices? Now the Nine of Voices is a card about extreme mental problems, extreme when your thoughts get so, when you get so stressed, or you overanalyze, or you your mental behavior gets to the point where it's unhealthy. So this can talk about depression, or it can talk about anxiety or stress or nightmares, anything that's to do with mental health, and very, very like quite serious. Okay, so if you are suffering from any of those things, do make sure you access the support networks that are available to you, whether that's the healthcare system, friends, family. Talk it out, call up an advice line, look up, just Google methods that can help with that, and kind of give them a serious try. Don't just sit there in that stress and anxiety and worry, because that's not healthy, right? We're talking about, are you going to sit there in that and have that bad health, or are you going to shine a light on it, talk about it, open up about it, choose a different path? What has your family done before you? Did they just put up and shut up? Or if so, choose a different path, basically, is the message of this reading. So The Nine of Voices came out with this thief card. Now, you are going to be aware if you're dealing with an actual thief, somebody's stolen something for you, you're going to be aware of that. The way it's coming through for me today, because it's come through with the clock time, and you can see that the child on this card is actually stealing a pocket watch. So it's coming through for me as somebody is a thief of time, or somebody recognizing that perhaps stress, anxiety, the things that get you, into that state where you're just like, do you know what, I can't function today. Those kind of behaviors are a thief of time. Again, and I like to be quite open because I think it's helpful to hear other people's stories. When I was drinking far too much, and it was like every day, more or less, maybe 1 or 2 days a week, I would not drink, but most days I was drinking, and I wasn't drinking excessively. I wasn't getting like, rat-arsed or anything like that, but I was drinking a few every day. It was very unhealthy. And to me, that was my way of dealing with the stresses that were going on. I was at university. I also had 2 young children. I was working part-time for some of it. I was very, very stressed. And so it was my way of numbing. But the problem with that is that it makes you tired. It makes you sleepy. You don't get things done. And therefore, those things that are stressing you and piling up just keep piling up. So it's almost like if I hadn't drank and I dealt with the issues, I would have had more time, I would have had more energy. So it could be that some kind of addiction, some kind of negative behavior pattern is causing this, contributing, maybe not causing, but contributing. It's not helping. So it's turning into a thief of time. You may be dealing with somebody who's wasting your time as well. For those of you who this is a relationship, you feel trapped in a relationship, they're giving me razor lights somewhere else. Somewhere else. I really, really wish I could be somewhere else from here. So I'm just going to make that down, somewhere else. So if you feel like you are trapped in a relationship and or trapped in some kind of unhealthy behavior pattern, and you analyze that, you recognize that, you realize that, right? It's like you might look back on those lost years and say, oh my God, I wasted my time. That negative thing, that bad health thing, has caused me lost years where I was unhappy, perhaps I was miserable, and you can't get those years back. But then the wishing well is here to say there is a brighter future coming. Your wishes can come true, your dreams can come true, especially if you choose the brighter path. So I really, really like this reading so far. I may just get another deck out to quickly see if there's anything else that it wants to say. So heartbreak there on the bottom there, ouchie. Let's give it a quick shuffle. So do you have anything else to say about the Ace of Pentacles, bad health, and the magnifying glass? Yeah, closing it. Okay, brilliant. The World card in particular is very, very relevant right now. So it can mean travel. So again, we've got the location marker and travel. Somebody may be traveling the world, right? Going on holidays, or at least making plans to. The Ace of Materials is the intention, the idea to. What comes next would be like the Page of Pentacles, which is coming up with the plan, researching. So somebody's definitely got an intention to move, to travel, to explore the world. You could be literally moving countries. Doesn't have to be, because another way that I can read this is that the world is talking about closing a karmic cycle. Again, we've got the karma here, healing family issues. So this is like closing out. It's like, I'm done. Thank you, universe, for teaching me this lesson. I am done with this now. Like me when I was like, do you know what? I'm just stopping drinking. It's like success. You've closed out that karmic cycle. You're onto something new. It's come out though with, it can also indicate being public, being well known, being in the spotlight, and it can also indicate kind of like the internet. So it could be that there's something going on. Maybe if this is a loved one for you, you're keeping in touch with them via the internet. But it's come out with the Five of Wands in the reverse. Now, the Five of Wands is a card about literally fighting. It's been coming out a huge amount for me, by the way, in my off-camera readings. So somebody could have been either in some kind of competition. It could be sibling rivalry, right? In competition with your siblings. It could be if somebody is trapped in an unhealthy relationship. This could indicate arguments even physical violence. So if that's your situation, absolutely get out of there. I hope you don't feel trapped and imprisoned. You know, there are steps you can take. There are resources available. Go and Google it. You know, use that internet to kind of Google that. But it can talk about trying to get the upper hand, trying to it's combative, a very combative energy. With it being the reverse, that's really healthy with the world, because this is saying that cycle's closed out. You're not going to engage in that negative, combative behavior anymore. It could be that, again, talking about possibilities with kind of ancestral behavior, if you've had parents and grandparents who've always had to fight for everything they've got, or they've always had to, you know, compete to get to the top of the careers, or, you know, competing, it may have a tendency to compete with others. You know, I'm the better person, I've got the best house, I've got the gorgeous husband or wife. So this competitive nature, it could be that that is what's closing out here, recognizing that, you know, it's stressful, it's unhealthy, it's you know, maybe I'd be happy with a cabin in the woods, maybe I don't need the mansion on the hill. So it could be things like that for somebody. But again, if you're in a toxic relationship, you feel trapped in a toxic relationship, putting on a brave face to the world, but behind closed doors, you know, you're actually fighting each other, then somebody is absolutely done with that. So that is really good to see. Could be that somebody, I don't like to talk about things like that, but it could be that somebody did get into some sort of fight and had to be get medical treatment, you know. Hopefully something minor if that's the case. You know, recognizing though that sometimes you can be in relationships that are you know, really, really toxic, really like negative karmics. People say karmic can be good or bad. But, you know, you can be in relationships that are very, very toxic, and sometimes you don't even realize because you've got used to it, especially if it's like your parents have always been in you know, difficult relationships. If you're taught that that's what relationships look like, then you know, it can be very hard to see that it's not healthy. I know family members myself who have been in very, very unhealthy relationships, but they'll defend the person. They'll be like, oh no, you don't understand, they just had a bad day, or things like this. And you think they should not be treating you like that. You deserve better than that. So it could be realizing, especially if you have children. I'm not seeing any cards of children, but if you have, I mean, there's a child on this card. If you have children and you suddenly recognize with that magnifying glass, oh my goodness, this is a toxic relationship, this is not healthy, I don't want my children to think this is normal. That could be the reason why this is suddenly closed out for somebody. Tell me about justice, the coffin, pathway, and the tree of life. Yeah, choice. Somebody has a choice, but it's like they're blocking it. And I think, again, this is why the Nine of Voices is here. So somebody is definitely all up in their head about this choice. Really, they don't know which direction to take. They're really quite confused and stressed and anxious about this decision. I think the decision's very, very clear. Based on these cards, you know, quite frankly. And I think if you use your intuition, because this Two of Swords talks about the need to use your intuition to guide you through the situation, I think intuitively you know what the right choice is to make. The problem is here that there's no water on the imagery of this card. Normally the Two of Swords shows somebody sat in water, and the water signifies the ability to use your intuition when you feel blindfolded, when you don't know which direction to take. But somebody's having trouble tapping into their intuition for some reason. So why is somebody having trouble tapping into their intuition? They've worked on something for a very, very long time. This is Virgo and energy. What I should say, actually, this is Libra, earth sign, air sign, earth sign, but this is particularly very Virgoan to me, because it talks about planting seeds and watching them grow, investing in something over time, being quite slow and steady. It's kind of almost like similar to the Knight of Pentacles card to me. So there's something about divine timing. It's not the right time. I'm waiting for something to blossom before I make a move. It may be that somebody's very, very distracted with the responsibilities as well. Waiting for a return on investments, again with the contract card, something like that. But it's very nurturing energy. It's a nice energy to have in a reading. Okay, so Nine of Voices, Thief, Time. Nine of Voices, Thief, and Time. A Thief of Wishes, a Thief of... Nine of Voices, Thief, Time. Last chance. Nine of Voices, Teeth and Time. The Wheel of Fortune. Yeah, the wheel is turning. Somebody's getting good karma, because I think, or they will get good karma if this is past, present, future. Then somebody, if they close out that toxic cycle and make a choice that's healthier, they make the change to heal the family tree issues. To even, this can talk about your own actual health as well, the health of your body and the need to heal. So there's something that's being healed here. Somebody has a choice to make. I think the choice is clear in my view. A thief of time, but the karma's changing, the wheel is turning. There's going to be movement here. There's going to be good fortune, good luck coming in. But I think it is dependent on closing out toxic cycles and making good choices. That's how you get the good karma. If you constantly repeat the same patterns, if with the World card, if you go back into the same cycle, I mean, I would say with these two cards, this is 100% a cycle closing out, a lesson learned. Change of closing out a bad cycle, starting afresh. I'm surprised that the Full card's not here. Maybe somebody's not quite to the point where they're going to take the leap of faith, but maybe they get the sense that fortune's changing for them because they're making the good decisions. Sometimes it can take some time. Oh, look at that as well, success there on the bottom, being in the spotlight, reward and recognition, having other people recognize your achievements, victory. So I, again, talking personally, because I think that's helpful. It's so funny because I have been on social media for a very long time, and when I was drunk and unhappy and putting that Joker smile on, I feel like I was a lot more popular. I was I was quite funny. I was kind of a bit all over the place because that the social media was kind of my happy place when I wasn't happy in real life. It was where I let off steam, but a lot of the time, people don't see, they don't see behind the Joker on the internet. So since, again, this has been an ongoing process for me where I've made healthier choices, I've exercised more, I've cut things out that were unhealthy, and I've got to a point now where I'm very pleased with myself. I'm just so pleased with myself. And I've noticed things like my follower count going down on some social media platforms. Certain people dropped off and stopped engaging with me. And it's almost like when I'm there saying, I made a tweet about it last night as well, actually saying, I know I'm posting a lot of selfies and it's probably really annoying, but I'm so happy with how I am at the moment. And a year ago, I wasn't confident enough to do this. And people were really, really supportive then. I think because I told my story with it rather than just posting the selfies. But that feeling of like, it's a bit like, oh, right, okay. So now I'm happy with myself. And now I feel like I'm doing well in my life. And now that I'm not miserable and drunk all the time, nobody likes me anymore. Interesting. And that's a hard pill to swallow. It's a hard lesson to learn. And I think that it's tempting to revert back to your old behaviors for attention. Especially if you're looking for love outside of yourself or looking for validation outside of yourself, it's very tempting to do the things that get you that notoriety almost. I'm proud of myself for not falling for it. And I'm proud of myself for having a mindset of, right, well, I don't want them in my life anyway. I don't want validation, and I don't want to engage with people who encourage me to engage in toxic behaviours. I would rather have a smaller group of friends who support me and who recognise the journey and recognise the struggle and are still there for me, rather than people who say, oh, you're doing well. Oh, I can't relate. It's like, I don't want, So there is a change of mindset as well that comes with these things. So tell me about the wishing well. What is the wishing well doing here, please? The wishing well. Okay. Are you going to tell me about the wishing well, or are we giving up? Okay. Right. The wishing well, but look, oh, success. There you go. Success came out. Brilliant. Okay, yeah, wishing coming true. So sometimes things take time. Sometimes it takes a long time for the universe to turn that karmic wheel, to get things in alignment. If you change your path, you can't expect to see results overnight. Things take time with the Seven of Pentacles. Seeds don't just sprout overnight and turn into trees. If you're growing if you're planting new seeds of a new life, of a healthier future. These new trees take time to grow. So again, it could be a relationship thing where somebody's leaving past the family tree of the past behind, and they're growing their new family tree, their own family tree that's going to be a much more healthier, prosperous family tree with the wishing well there. But yeah, this is like, don't worry, your success is coming. You are getting reward and recognition. Your dreams are going to come true. You're going to have victory here. It's going to be really healthy as well. If you think about a well, there's a huge well of water down there. You know, it gives and it gives and it gives and it gives. So if you're looking for healthy relationships, if you've been somewhere where it's been very dry, you know, the water, think about the healing properties as well of water, and the symbolism of emotions and water. You're gonna get wishes. This is like wishes coming true, success, healing, abundance, emotional happiness and abundance. That's really beautiful. But let's see which other cards spat out there, because one went flying up here. Deception. So there is something about deception. Don't deceive yourself. You could be hanging on to an old dream of success, an old idea of wishes. So just be careful of self-deception there. And there's things that are hidden here. This is the Thief in the Night card. This is playing your cards close to your chest, sneaking around in the middle of the night. But normally the symbolism of the card, the Seven of Swords, is that this person is sneaking around in the night. They are a thief because they're actually stealing the swords off the battlefield so that they can't be used against them the next day. So there could be some sort of forward planning here, or some kind of surreptitious activity on behalf of the universe where somebody's almost preparing to sneak off in the middle of the night, preparing for some sort of confrontational battle, but they're trying to ensure some kind of successful outcome for themselves. I'm not quite sure, but there is some kind of surreptitious activity here. And then what's hiding here, because some cards flipped and went back in, so that tells me again secrets, things that are hidden. Somebody could be somebody could be planning on leaving a situation, and they have made their choice. I see the Two of Wands is always a card about making a choice, but again with this card the choice is obvious. This one here represents one of the choices, but there's nothing left there. It's in an empty space, right? It's in the corner. She's got her back to it. She's made her choice. She's choosing this wand. But this wand, again, requires travel. There's the world card symbology there again. So again, could be somebody's made a choice to move house, to travel the world. Could be a number of things. And there's also this like little Volkswagen, not a Beetle, camper van here as well. So I do feel like it could just be I've made a choice to go on holiday when the opportunity arises. But I do feel like there's an obvious choice that somebody's made, but they're biding their time. She can't move yet. She's still looking out of the window, but she knows she's looking into her future. She knows where she's going to go. So again, if you want to travel, if you want to buy a new house, if you want to relocate, you do have to save money. The Four of Pentacles, you can see she's holding onto this purse. This can show me that somebody is saving money, holding on to money, being a bit miserly, being a bit of a Scrooge. They're not exactly off to the casino here. But maybe you are, maybe you're going to Vegas, maybe you're going gambling, I don't know, but you need to save some money up for the trip. But she's also, you can see she's turned her back on this village. So again, I do get this sense of somebody leaving a past situation behind and moving on, and preparing for that, right? Preparing, gathering resources, gathering information, making a plan. It can be defensive as well, though. It can be somebody being defensive about making a choice. It's kind of a card about shielding as well. But with it, there's Seven of Swords, I feel like somebody's been quite secretive here. They know what their wishes are. They know where their success lies. They're all looking forward to the future, right? Maybe trying to sneak away in the middle of the night. Maybe secretly trying to save money. So, communication and action, fast action. This is like go time here on the bottom of the deck. So that's a really, really cool reading. I think I am going to get you a advice card. I'm just actually going to stop because I'm 35 minutes, so I'm getting near that 40-minute mark. So I'm just going to stop. I'm going to get a pack to use as your advice card. So I'll be back in a second. It's interesting because I've used, this is the deck I'm going to use for your advice card. I've used this deck a lot in the past week because I've done all 12 readings of the Zodiac with this deck, and a lot of cards have come out from it. So I wasn't intending to use this deck as your advice card. I was going to use a different deck, but I was just really strongly drawn to it. So for whatever reason, this is the deck we're using once again. I hope I get a new card that I've not seen before. Can I get a card, please, as advice for this reading? What's the advice, please, for this reading? What's the advice, please, for this reading? What's the advice, please, for this reading? Thank you. Okay. Oh my, look at that. I was thinking to myself, if that card comes out again, but there it is. This is the card that's been coming out for all those readings. And it's what I was saying here about the gold door and the gold door and the purple door. Symbology is slightly reversed here because you can see the butterflies with the purple door. But maybe it almost looks like the butterflies flying out of the purple door towards the gold door. I feel like it's just cut out anything that's, if there's something that's shortening your life, you need to close the lid on one situation and make a change and go on a new pathway is what this reading's saying, at least. So there you go. Coming apart. So I look at that with the purple. Coming apart. And then the Wizard of Awareness perhaps is more of this kind of greeny gold colour. This earthy colour. This kind of feels quite spiritual, kind of otherworldly. This kind of, if I was going to associate this with a sign, I would say this was Scorpionic energy, just because of the purples. It reminds me of the intuition and kind of like the High Priestess card. This one feels much more like earth magic, right? So like the sun and the earth there. It's like feels like earth sign or shaman or kind of like because look, he's got the gold light shining, right? Okay, let's read what it says. So I'm going to put that making a choice up there with that justice card there. Just look at the symbology though, like the two doors, the gateways. 46. Okay, yeah, I feel like something's closing out where there's been a lot of competition or fighting. It's unhealthy. Whatever this is, somebody's closing out an unhealthy cycle. Now is the time to take separate paths. Unbelievable. The coming apart card is a sign to put an end to what is no longer working for you. Close the coffin on that old situation. Has a commitment been broken? Perhaps you need to break a promise or change course Perhaps you need to break a promise or change course because you took on more than you could handle. This is a perfect time to reassess your goals and values. Are your actions in alignment with what you believe in? Have you created a partnership that is not mutually beneficial? Separation, dissolution, and dispersion are all in focus now. If someone wishes to break away from you, don't chase the relationship out of a sense of fear. Oh my goodness, you can run, you can hide, but you can't escape my love. What does it say? If you feel like leaving, I'm not going to make you stay. It was good, it was real. No, it was good, it was bad, it was real. Oh. The price you pay will not be worth the price. Separation brings good fortune. Separation brings good fortune. Do you know what? Could they make this more clear? Could they make this more obvious? Wizard of Awareness. And it's funny as well because it's like this awareness. It's like somebody has this higher awareness now. It's like somebody at least knows what they need to close out. Because this is what the magnifying glass is here for. And this confused me at first when it first came out. I was like, what are you taking a closer look at? This whole situation, somebody's took a really like cold, hard look at it. And it's like closing the coffin lid, and then you can see the sun coming through the window, which is signifying this pathway. Making those changes, right? I love this guy. He reminds me a little bit of if you've ever played Stardew Valley, the kind of hermit guy who lives on his own in a tent. What's his name? Linus, I think he's called. Kind of reminds me of that, or like Gandalf or something. Your soul knows best. Be still and observe. Mindfulness is about being observant and remaining neutral about what goes on in the world around you. This applies to the environment within you. Oh my God, the environment within you. Like, ugh. If you struggle inside yourself, stepping into an observer position gives you a new powerful perspective that neutralizes any discomfort or overexcitement. You have the capacity to see things clearly now, unencumbered by opinion or desire. Wearing the world as a loose garment, wearing the world as a loose garment requires you to adopt a sense that nothing that happens to you is personal. People come and go. Experiences evolve from one state to another in a continual shifting and change no matter how much you want things to stay the same. The Wizard of Awareness asks you to give up your need to define or limit what you're experiencing now. It's all good. Let it be, let it be, let it be, and watch the miracle unfold without any direct influence from you. It's like you don't really have to do anything other than make the choice. All you need to do is make the choice and make the intention. I've got deja vu. Make the intention clear to the universe. Make the choice, decide what you want. It's like, what do you want? What is that sunlight for you? And it's like, what has to close out. You know that there's a change. You know that there's a pathway that's more healthy for you. You know that it leads to your dreams and wishes. So dream. Now is the time to dream big. And I feel like the universe is taking care of things for you. So make the choice, I guess. You're faced with a dilemma or a fork in the road and must make a conscious choice regarding the next right action. Whatever that choice is, you must take responsibility for it, yet you needn't be afraid. You may not have all the answers right now because the way ahead can't be known until you've embarked and travelled a few steps. Trust your intuition. So watch, wait, bide your time, gather your money. Trust your intuition. Which is difficult because you didn't have the intuition because you were in such a dry space. Right? Look at that as well, into the unknown. That's what I said. Make the change. Do the thing. Look, she's blindfolded. Like, make the change. Do the thing that you haven't done before. Right? Where's it gone? Where's the image gone? There was that like blindfolded image. I can't see it now. It's gone. Trust your intuition. Take steps forward, even if you don't know where you're going yet. Do something different. Leave the familiar. Right? It's going to take some bravery. Magic stream. There's the water. There's the intuition. Right? Sorry, I'm getting so distracted. Trust your intuition. Ask for a sign from spirit, and you will be led to the right path. If you remain conscious and aware, your choice will be the right one at this time. Life is always about learning. Success lies in choosing consciously, guided by intuition and spirit. My God. Right, okay. So I guess anyone who got that making a choice card in the reading, I guess this is for them. My heart just flipped. Right, okay. Escape. Yes, escape. You're imprisoned. Escape. Main female. Oh my God. Family room. Right, okay. I keep hearing wishing well. So the people who are resonating with this reading, the people who are going, oh my God, yes, that's me. What do they need to hear right now? Go on, sock it to them. What do they need to hear? Snow, Heyo, Red Hot Chili Peppers. So I'll make a note of that. Okay, I love Red Hot Chili Peppers. I love that song so much. Come to decide that the things in my life were just something to get high on. Is that what he says? Come to decide that the things in my life were to get high on. Okay. Yeah, somebody is changing behaviour and cutting out toxic patterns, aren't they, with that Snow reference? So, Yeah, okay. Living a long, healthy life among the trees, planting seeds of a new future. What's the best advice? Because that's what you need to hear. So that may have been like a bit of a heads up from the universe. That might have been a bit like pay attention. So what's the advice? This person's making a choice, going towards the success, turning the wheel of fortune. What's the best advice, please, for this person right now? You've got Enrique again. It's two Enrique songs. It's someone called Enrique. It's an unfamiliar, it's like an unusual name, I'd say. Love to see you cry. So that's your advice. Escape, I guess. I guess you're being told to escape a situation. Um, Whatever those songs mean to you, I will put them all in the description box down below. So whatever you get from them, right, you need to use your intuition. That's what it's saying to you now, right? You need to go into the unknown, using your intuition to guide you. Look at the rainbows as well. Look, 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 look. Rainbow on this card, rainbow on this card, right? You need to move forward. Go slow and steady. Make a plan. You're going to be okay. The universe has got your back here. Please do take the advice on board from the cards and yeah, use your intuition there. You've got this. Whatever this is, you've got this. Oh my God, I didn't even realise. Look, with the pathways again, the sun and the moon, the gold and the purple. I'm going. Best of luck with that. It was 11:11 on my timestamp then because I'd stopped and restarted. But you've got this, okay? You've absolutely got this. Do take care, and I'll see you again soon.